Do you say data or data? Well, at the Finger House, we say data.
I think I say data.
I think I say data. And I'm saying,
Okay, well,
my impulse is to say data.
Well, I've been wrong before, and you know what I was wrong? I was wrong about paying a fortune on my monthly data plan. My monthly data plan. Oh my God.
You do
I thought
say
that was
data.
normal. I know. And that was until I found out about Mint Mobile and their premium wireless plans that started just $15 a month.
Say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you. All plans come with high-speed data or data, your choice, and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your own phone number along with all your existing contacts. Ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. No matter how you say it, data, don't overpay for it. Shop data plans at mintmobile.com/who. That's mintmobile.com/who. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month 5 GB plan required, equivalent to $15 per month. New customer offer for first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
You will dream it.
Yo, they want to know.
Hey, hey, I want to be famous.
Welcome to Who Weekly, the podcast where you'll learn everything you need to know about the celebrities you don't. I'm Bobby Finger.
I'm Lindsay Weber.
And this is Who's There, our weekly call-in show where we take your questions, comments, and concerns at 619-WHO-THEM. Let's start with comments. A lot of lawyers called about this, so here's one.
Hi, Lindsay, Bobby, Timmy. You're probably going to get a million calls explaining this, but when you get divorced, you have to file within the county one of you live in. So if you live in LA County, you can't get divorced anywhere else. So if people get married somewhere and it's not LA County where like TMZ is looking, great, probably going to get away with the secret marriage. But because you have to be divorced in the county that you, or like file for divorce in the county you live in, that is why it's probably more frequent that people find these divorce papers. So there's your divorce knowledge of the day. Crunch, crunch.
Wow, I love this like simple, obvious answer.
It's so simple, and so many lawyers called in and were like, this is the trick.
That is why celebrities keep getting caught, getting divorced in Los Angeles where they live, because that's where they're required to file their divorce documents.
Fascinating. I love the law.
I don't.
I love lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
You ask a lawyer to call in, and they will call in. You ask a
That's
marine
true.
biologist to call in, they will call in.
So you like lawyers and marine biologists?
Yes. You ask people from Hershey, Pennsylvania to call in, and they will call in, even if Lindsay says, don't call in.
Hi, Lindsay, Bobby. I'm calling in as your Hershey correspondent to confirm that Bobby is right. The people of Pennsylvania broadly, and probably central Pennsylvania specifically, are very into Milton Hershey, and we were very indoctrinated with his life and legacy as a child. I grew up in the town right next to Hershey, and then I worked at Chocolate World as a teen. My dad also worked for Hershey for a long time. So I will respect Lindsay's wishes to not tell her anything about the actual life story of Milton Hershey, even though I probably could recite his biography from memory. But I did want to share a childhood story growing up in Hershey, which is that at one point when I was a kid, a lot of the workers were on strike, and the CEO at the time was named Rick Lenny. And my mom is very Republican and very anti-union, and she was like upset that they were striking, so she made this like cardboard sign that she put in her car window that said, "I heart Lenny," as in I heart the CEO. And when we were driving through Hershey, while they were like picketing on the streets, on more than one occasion, she pulled the minivan over and got out of the car to argue with striking workers while me and my brothers were just like in the car. And also the streetlights in Hershey are shaped like Hershey's Kisses, and it smells like chocolate. Anyway, there's a lot more that I could say, but I'll leave it at that. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Crunch, crunch.
What?
My mom's a union buster. But also, Hershey, Pennsylvania has Chocolate Kiss street lights, and it smells like chocolate.
I love that from that story, that's what you pulled out as being the most interesting thing this person said, but we won't comment on the rest.
Well, it's like, okay, their mom is a union buster, whatever. But like, I don't like that. But like, look how cute these fucking kisses are that are dangling on the light posts.
It would stress me out if I smelled chocolate all the time. I feel like I'd be like, I'm having a stroke. I'm having a stroke.
I feel like I was having a stroke.
And they're like, you're in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Where were we? Where we walked into some place and it wasn't a bakery. It wasn't a bakery and it wasn't like a place where you would expect to smell this. We walked into the same business together in recent history, like in the past year. And my eyes sort of like bulged and you saw my eyes bulge and you said, Bobby, I know what you're thinking, but it literally does smell like toast right now. You're not having a stroke. Because it smelled like toast.
That's so me. I'm like, relax.
Relax, Bobby. Relax. That's actual toast. And it was real toast.
There is something, it burned. Something burned.
Something burned. Okay, next call. This one made me laugh.
Lindsay, did you dig a quarter out of the jar and drop it back in for Lady Gaga?
Did you dig a quarter out and then drop it back in? That's not how a Gaga jar works.
First of all, I'm literally getting called out. Bobby doesn't even have a jar. So let's throw the insults where the insults are due. I at least have the jar that has the quarters in it.
I only have one mason jar and I use it every morning.
Bobby doesn't even have a jar out. So let's just not, and it's been months. He could have acquired a jar. There's so many jars. He could have finished some mustard, used that jar. Like, I just am like, I don't really like being called out for this when I am the only one of this podcast who has the jar. I just don't have the quarter. I need to acquire more quarters.
Okay, yeah, but it's true. Lindsay reuses coins in her Gaga jar, and I don't have one.
Right. And honestly, you know what's even more corrupt? Sometimes it's just a sound effect. You don't fucking know. You'll never know.
I know.
And that's on sound engineering.
Well, I used to have quarters left and right because the laundry in my building had quarters, but now the laundry in my building uses fucking the laundry card. So you have to fill up the card. I just used to be more quarter rich.
Yeah, well, you don't get the jar, and then we'll talk about quarters on your end.
Okay. Last comment, which we received the most calls about.
Just pause the pod to ask which former Love Islander Louis Tomlinson is dating. Okay, thank you. Crunch, crunch.
Louis Tomlinson is dating a Love Islander, but we never said which one.
We never said her name.
No.
So we did the whole segment. We were like, Louis Tomlinson is dating a Love Islander, and then we like said stuff about her, but we never said her name.
We never said her name. Zara McDermott is the Love Island star that Louis Tomlinson is dating.
It's funny because like you're going to hear that and you're not going to remember it after I just said, like, it's over. It whiffed out the window. It went through your head and out your other ear.
You were naming all these facts about her as though you were quite familiar with her life and backstory. So I'm surprised we didn't actually say the name. But yes, let's say it again. Zara McDermott.
I am not surprised we didn't say the name. It's very it's very in our realm. I am surprised when I was editing it, I didn't notice we didn't say her name. But you know what? That's on me. And that's on me.
Love Island Season 4, 2018, Zara McDermott.
Her relationship with the famous singer was first detected by a sleuth-like One Direction fan who noticed Louis had followed Zara on Instagram and liked a string of her pictures. They got him good.
And you got us good. Let's take some non-comment calls.
Hey, Lindsay, Bobby. Long time. I just received an email from a salmon company, Fishwife, and they're doing a collaboration with Bon Iver on a special smoked salmon product. And I'm wondering, is this is who he is? Bon Iver a who or a them? You know, he's releasing a new album. People are excited. But this seems like a weird little collab. Kind of cool, but weird. All right, that's all I have to say. Thanks. Crunch, crunch.
What's funny about this is that this album is so good. Like, it's
beautiful.
Beyond delicious. It's like gonna win Album of the Year Grammys. Like, if it doesn't, it's crazy. To the point where I'm like, all of this kind of collab that he's doing is almost it's unnecessary, and so and therefore the kind of exaggeration of it all almost feels like a joke or like a or like a meta commentary about something within the album, which itself is really not about this, but then it just feels like you're missing something because it really is so many items. It's like truly like the most items I've ever seen.
I've never seen this before, and it's Justin Vernon, aka Bon Iver.
Well, I'm just like, to even set up this many collaborations with different brands and foods and whatever is like somebody's full-time job. So I just like don't think Justin is doing this himself.
He's definitely not doing it alone.
Right? No, it's like he's not doing. No, he's just like not doing this himself. Someone else is doing this on the behalf of like his album at the label or like whatever it is. And clearly he's giving the okay. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying there is like an aesthetic push to this album that it, one, doesn't really need musically, which is fine, and two, that is like not Spawn. It's not Spawn. It's collab. Like, that's different. And it is promoting the album, but like, this is not a tit for tat. It's more of these weird special edition, chic little releases with like shoppy shop brands.
Yes.
All shoppy shop brands. It's like even Field Notes got a Bon Iver collab. It's like, that's a notebook company. There is something interesting going on here that I haven't seen in a while, even though we see this type of thing constantly.
He made an Instagram video that said, I mean, it's a cheeky sort of collaboration event. There's a video that says collaborations in order of appearance because it's a slideshow of all of the collaborations he's done. And it's like ice cream company, espresso company, another coffee company, a beer company, Field Notes, like Lindsay said, the notebook company, Fishwife, the tinned fish company, bagels, Todd Snyder sweaters, cologne, face cream, bus, another club.
Bus, club, another club, another club.
Plane,
cream,
no sleep.
another cream.
You know, like it really does not stop.
But it's all of a certain level of like quality.
It's upscale-ish, yeah. It's upscale-ish.
It's shoppy shop. The food is shoppy shop. Very locks, like spritz, tincture, whatever. And then the clothes are also like a stick and poke tattoo. Like, it's just very interesting and very exaggerated. I haven't heard him speak on this yet, though. I've heard a few interviews with him for this album, but I haven't heard him speak on the kind of commercialization that he has.
Yeah, it's like he needs a feature in advertising age or something.
My other thought is that because, and I'm not like, this is now like not a music podcast, but I'm like, this album is his first like quote unquote happy album. Like he's made he's like known for being like a sad sack, which is like amazing, so beautiful, love his work. But this album, he's like, I'm happy. This is more upbeat as Bon Iver gets. I wonder if it's almost like the happy album, he can finally do stuff with the album that's like this, because it's not this album about like such depressing topics
like,
that he's going all out.
Regret and pain and loss. Like, this is about, I'm in a good place. I'm in such a good place that I can start merchandising freely. There's a basketball.
That's what I'm saying. And do so in like a joyful on theme way, which is like this sable fable, delicious. I love a sable on a bagel. Give me a break. That's the best. It's the best that it gets. Like, I just think that it's funny and it's a play on it. And I think he is having...
It's the best that it gets.
I think that he's having a little bit of cheeky fun with the idea of this because it wouldn't be so much shit.
The sable at Russ and Daughters? Ooh.
Oh, like, give me a break. And the salmon is chic. I mean,
It is. Everything is very chic, but it's like, you wouldn't expect this from this person, but also this is the age that we're living in now. Like, everything has to be extra. Everything has to be a new variant of...
I am kind of loving this piece you found, or Timmy found, that's like...
Oh, Timmy found this.
I don't even know this ASI Central. I guess it's just like an advertising, like, industry rag or whatever. And it's like, why brands should take their merch beyond t-shirts and posters. Bon Iver's gigantic campaign for its new album shows the power of aligning with premium brands and tapping into unique products. Like, these aren't band t-shirts he's selling at concerts. This is different. First of all, he's not having concerts. I don't think he's touring with this album, but it's like, or yet. But it's like, that's why it's almost like he's creating, it's almost like he's opening up his own store, and the store is themed album, and the items are like, again, like your favorite upstate boutique. That's kind of like selling tinned fish.
Like, in the world of Baby Boom, he would collab with Country Baby. Like Diane Keaton would get on the horn with him.
Oh my God, right. He would sell the baby food at his little shoppy shop.
At a shoppy shop.
Yeah, it's just interesting to call this merch, and it's interesting to call this Spawn, because it's kind of neither. I guess it is merch. It's more merch than it is Spawn. And merch has kind of gotten out of control. So, like, maybe this is the next era of merch where people... And you know what? We were just talking about this. That Lady Gaga merch that we both bought.
It's horrendous.
Trash.
It's horrendous.
Trash. Like,
one of the biggest them stars on the planet who can sell whatever she wants, whenever she wants. And it's crap. So I guess this is a reaction to maybe the difficulties in getting quality merch, or it's novel, right? It's just something new.
If I'm going to spend like too much money on a Lady Gaga shirt and it's trash, I'd spend a little bit more on a Lady Gaga shirt that's actually not trash. Like,
yeah,
you know, and I just think at this point, maybe this is the backlash to kind of that, you know, that consumerist, we're just putting all this stuff back in the landfill vibe. When like, okay, if I'm getting a Bon Iver tinned fish, at least I'm going to eat that. It's going to be delicious. It's not going to waste. It's going to be amazing on my little bagel.
Exactly. It doesn't feel wasteful.
No, not at all.
Crunchy earth-mindedness is something that feels very Bon Iver to me.
Sure. I just wonder if he's kind of like wink, wink at the consumerism of it all. Just it's overwhelming how many things are on this list of like cocktails and whatever else.
And dark lagers. And also, I feel like this is a bit of a stretch, but also like there's a minor tinge, there's a soupçon of Taylor Swift effect in here. Taylor Swift has never done something like this, but it's sort of like once you collab with Taylor Swift, I feel like you are more likely to be shameless, right? You're more likely
he did that
to
Taylor
just
song
cash
and
in.
you'd said,
He said, wait, that's my #1 most streamed song ever.
Well, this is the album of the year. So if he can do both, if he can figure out both, then like more power to him. But I also really think that this is kind of on such a smaller scale. Like how many Sable Fable cocktails are they selling at the Roofberries Terrace Bar? It's like, it's very niche. These are you can't order this stuff online. It's not collectibles. It's like, it's a fucking mezcal cocktail, right?
It's a mezcal cocktail.
Like how many people does that even get sold to? 100? Maybe? I'm saying I would pay $20 for this Sable Fable cocktail, which has mezcal, hibiscus liqueur, freshly squeezed orange juice, guava, jalapeno cordial, coriander, honey, and lime, topped with orchid flower, skeleton leaf, what's that, and jalapeno jelly. $20 in New York.
It's probably a better investment, all of these little things, you know, like
than
the
a
Todd
Lady Gaga
Snyder-
hat?
But not just then a Lady Gaga hat. It's certainly a better investment for the consumer, but it's probably a better investment for the artist, because what if you spend all this money on merch that doesn't sell because it sucks, you know? Limited partnerships is maybe better.
Well, also this is also just more fun. It's more real. It's more authentic. It's like, yeah, I'm listening to the Bon Iver album and drinking my Sable Fable cocktail, then versus I'm wearing like a weird, ugly shirt that doesn't fit me right, and it also costs $40. Sure, but I'm saying it has less reach either way.
Who's themier? I think I know the answer to this, but let's just say it for the record. Who's themier, Bon Iver or Justin Vernon? Bon Iver, right?
Bon Iver. Well, I just watched whatever. I watched the one when he was on that show where it's like they stand in the middle of New York and they're like, listen to music. Who is this?
Yeah.
But they did Bon Iver's in a very like rude way where they had random people come and put on the headphones and listen to Bon Iver with Bon Iver standing right there. And they were like, oh, this is like a new artist. This is like an unreleased album. Like, what does it sound to you? And maybe one of them knew that it was Bon Iver out of like all of them, and then no one knew it was him. They were like, this is him, and he was like, what's up? But I think that's how he likes it. I mean, I think it's the best idea you could have is to not have it be your name, right?
Yeah. He just looks like any random Midwestern white guy, because that's what he is, and that's who he cares about. Okay, so Bon Iver and Justin Vernon are both whose?
Love him. Yeah, it's true.
I want to be famous.
Grunes. Convenient, comprehensive formula. Are you currently taking multiple supplements a day? This isn't a multivitamin, a greens gummy, or a prebiotic. It's all of those things and then some at a fraction of the price. And bonus, it tastes great.
It does taste great.
Winter's over, spring's here. It's time to ditch the clutter. And we don't mean like your winter clothes or whatever. We mean the clutter of the multivitamins. Like how many of those are you taking a day? It's like we need to pare that down. We need to replace some of those girlies with a singular girly, and that is Grunes. That is Groons. That's Groons. That's Groons. Making wellness enjoyable and sustainable means I only eat one of these things a day, right? And it's gonna be Groons.
It makes the entire process of taking vitamins and supplements very, very easy and kind of thoughtless. There are 8 gummies in each daily snack pack because you can't fit the right amount of nutrients they do in just one gummy. Plus, 8 gummies in a day, that's a fun treat. Groon's ingredients are backed by over 35,000 research publications. The ingredients in Groon's can yield a 41% increase in healthy gut bacteria, a 53% reduction in the risk of mild cognitive impairment, 75% reduction in immunity-damaging free radicals, and 91% thicker hair and nails, plus improved skin health. You wanted a supplement you could enjoy. This isn't a chore, it's something you look forward to. Get up to 45% off. Use the code WHO.
Imagine if you could ask someone anything you wanted about their finances. How much do you make? Who paid for that fancy dinner? What did your house actually cost? On every episode of What We Spend, a different guest opens up their wallets, opens up their lives, really, and tells us all about their finances. For 1 week, they tell us everything they spend their money on.
My son slammed like $6 worth of blueberries in 5 minutes.
This is a podcast about all the ways money comes into our lives and then leaves again, which, of course, we all have a lot of feelings about.
I really want these things. I want to own a house. I want to have a child. But this morning, I really wanted a coffee.
Because whatever you are buying or not buying or saving or spending, at the end of the day, money is always about more than your balance. I'm Courtney Harrell, and this is What We Spend. Listen to and follow What We Spend, an Odyssey original podcast, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Spring is here officially, finally, even though the weather hasn't really changed. It is officially spring, which means there's more time outside and less time to be stuck in the kitchen. You want to be outside, you want to enjoy the weather, you don't want to cook.
I certainly don't.
With Factor, you can enjoy fresh, ready-to-eat meals that heat up in just 2 minutes. There's no prep, there's no cleanup, it's just delicious, nutritious food that fits your lifestyle, including my favorite meal that came this week was the ginger teriyaki salmon.
I was enjoying the roasted garlic chicken as well as the green chili chicken. I don't know why there was so much chicken that came, but I'm not complaining.
I didn't get that one. I did get this one with like pesto and tortellini and stuff, though. It had chicken and pasta. With 45 menu options every week, you'll never get bored, whether you're choosing Protein Plus, Keto, or Calorie Smart meals. Factor isn't just for dinner either. They've got quick breakfasts, grab-and-go lunches, and even snacks and desserts, so you will always have something tasty and convenient ready to go. Get started at factormeals.com/who50off and use code who50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code who50off at factormeals.com/who50off for 50% off plus free shipping.
I want to be famous.
Hi, BLT. I'm calling because Amelia Moore, I love her. She makes fabulous music. But she bought a billboard, well, not bought, but she paid for a billboard that's on your way to Coachella that says, I'm not performing, but if you see me, say hi. And I just feel like that is such Who behavior, but it's just amazing. And I also think she won't be a Who forever because she's got insane visuals, insane talent, insane voice. So, I don't know if you want to rank the billboards from Who to Them that people did, or if you want to share who Amelia Moore is, but either one would be much appreciated by me. All right, we all going to bed.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what was that at the end?
I'm not going to rank all the Coachella billboards, but we will say who Amelia Moore is. And I stupidly was like, so her billboard is Amelia Moore. She has very noticeable long orange hair, like a wig, and the billboard is her. It says Amelia Moore, her little brand mark, and then it says, I'm not performing, but if you see me, say hi. And at first I thought, well, she's certainly performing. Why else would she have a billboard at Coachella? But she is not, in fact, performing. She did not perform at Coachella. She was just there, having a good time.
Stop. That's so funny.
So that made it funnier to me, because I was like, well, I don't believe this. She's definitely on some small stage. No, she didn't
just
perform.
Wasn't. That's fun. That's fun because like you're drafting off this like viral marketing thing that record labels are doing, and you're doing your own funny little thing. Unless this was done by her record label, which is like, then that's even smarter.
I think it was done by her record label because she just got signed. It's a good viral thing because she just got signed with Republic. So she has a good splashy, flashy, high profile record label now. And I think that I assume that they paid for it, right? Those billboards are probably hard to come by.
Who knows? I mean, if anything, okay, sure, maybe the inventory is tough around Coachella time because everyone's doing a little gag, but they don't cost a lot of money. Billboard promotion is, in terms of types of promotion and cost, like it's not up there.
They're still weirdly expensive, billboards. I'm sure they're only up for a short amount of time, which probably decreases the cost. But the point is, Amelia Moore is an up-and-coming artist. Pop, kind of R&B. She released a pretty popular new remix of her song featuring Coco Jones, whose rise has been very fun to watch lately. Coco Jones, actually becoming a success as a solo artist outside of, everything that she began with.
Once you think you know me, I change everything about myself. But there's nowhere to run when it comes to you. All my camouflage melts, and suddenly I'm see-through.
She is the employee of the month.
She's
of the week.
Employee of the month. I mean, to go from, Disney Channel star to actual pop star, it's a long journey, and it was a shorter journey for others. So Coco Jones.
She's still kind of on that journey, because I would say she's still kind of like cuspy in a way that is like waiting for that song or waiting for that moment or something. Because like the fact that I'm only being like her viral video moment, like we need the new moment from her. It can't be the moment, even though it still makes me laugh so much.
So Coco Jones is featured on one of Amelia Moore's latest singles, See Through, the remix. And it's like, that's the thing. Like, I like the remix more because I think I prefer Coco Jones to Amelia Moore.
Catch me when I'm dreaming, even though you make me doze off. Stimulating conversations made me take my clothes off. The only one who sees me, baby, I can't lie to you. Give me palpitations, put me in the ICU. Usually I'm running far from love, far away from anyone who makes me open up. You see me coming, call my bluff. You made me softer, I thought that I was tough.
She has an interesting look, and we'll get to Ava Max in a second, but I think that's crucial in this day and age. Like, she has an orange wig, and it's long, and that's why I think the billboard is pretty clever, because it says, if you see me, say hi. She stands out in a crowd.
Yes.
Amelia Moore.
Yes, I did that. And you would do it too for a check. Sorry, it's in my head now. Like, it's just like the way that she says, I was an employee.
I'm really not that type of person. Like, I'm really chill. Like, I'm really goofy. I'm really goofy and like regular. I don't like to be like, hi guys, so da-da-da-da. Yes, I did that. And you would do it too for a check. I was an employee. And I was going to get employee of the month. And that's on period.
Oh, she's so funny. You know when you hear text for the first time in a certain way and you're like, no one has ever said anything like that or said that like that or anything like that like that. It's just like, it's so unique to me in my ears.
To treat of all jobs, being a Disney Channel star, which is in fact a job,
right?
As
and I'm not even talking about what she's saying. I'm talking about the way she's saying it too. Yeah. Like I'm just like the sound is beautiful. It's like listening to Bon Iver.
And I was gonna get Employee of the Month.
That part's so good. Sorry to get derailed to Coco Jones. Was Coco Jones at Coachella?
Coco Jones was not at Coachella. Coco Jones has performed at Coachella before. She performed last year. She didn't perform this year.
While we're talking about Coco Jones, the first single for her new album, she's calling her first ever album, which is crazy because I feel like she's put out a lot of music, but maybe this is her first official album.
That technicality, right?
So Here We Go just came out, and the album I'm sure will be released like within the month or something, if this is the first single.
Like Coco Jones was just nominated for Best New Artist at the Grammys. Anyway, Amelia, back to her briefly, is new. She's quite young, early 20s, came up via church music, which is in every interview with her, from like the random magazine that you've never heard of, the sort of like tastemaker magazines that we talk about all the time before you've sort of risen, to her recent interview with Zane Lowe. It's like, I started singing in church choirs. Like, that's where I found my voice. And also, I was very stifled by religion and tradition and my parents. And her music is very much not that. But the first Amelia song that sort of broke through was called Sweet and Sour. And then since then, she's just sort of risen and risen and risen and risen and risen. And that's where we are now. This is the classic. We're in this stage.
She was an employee. Okay.
She was an employee. Speaking of Coachella, I find this a little more interesting.
Ava Max chopped half her hair off at Coachella. Tentativa lesbian.
Ava Max, haven't talked about her in a while, got famous for Sweet But Psycho while having an asymmetrical haircut, meaning the right side of her face had a bob and the left side of her face had long locks.
You know what's so crazy about her is that she really did ditch the cut too soon. Like the the Max cut was her thing. She had a few hits. It's not just Sweet But Psycho. All of the kings of the queens of that song, like, fuck that song. But like, she had songs. Like, she has had songs. And like, Maybe You're the Problem, which we all love. Our community loves that song. Not a hit, but we love that song. And we respect her for that song. She just like, the career is giving career. She has one. Even though you may be like calling her flop, like she's making music, she's doing stuff, she's able to release albums, she's on a label, but she had this haircut that was kind of like a defining factor of her that was so funny, and it had a fake story, and it was just such a good lore. Like the fact that she was like making up this story about the cookies burning the hair and having to cut the hair, and
you're calling it a fake story. She says it's real.
Fake.
I don't believe her ass, but it sounds fake.
Literally fake. It's literally fake. And also, I just want to say, I know this from inside sources, the Max cut is obviously a wig. The Max cut has always been a wig. She wears wigs, like pop stars wear wigs. This is a duh. And you're not going to have your hair done every day, and you're not going to have a haircut like that you have to maintain. So it's obviously going to be a wig. And the best part is, so she like got rid of the Max cut, and she thought it was gonna make this big impact, but then the Max cut itself, everyone was like, no, now we don't know who you are.
We don't know who you are anymore. You just look like a blonde woman.
You're just a blonde woman. Like, we need you to get the wig back or whatever. And so she actually like didn't have the Max cut for so long. The Max cut stayed out for a long time.
Years she didn't have the Max cut.
And now Miss Max is back at Coachella. She was not
Madam
actually
Max?
on the she's not actually on the she was like, she appeared as a guest on someone else's set. Alok.
She appeared as a guest on whose set was it?
Alok.
Oh, Alok. Yeah, sorry. He's a Brazilian DJ. Their song is fine.
They have a song together called Car Keys. Car Keys. And she gave herself the Max cut. What's killing me is like, again, I love it. I love the drama. I love the spectacle. Cutting your hair is so fun. She's back to Max cut. We appreciate. She better not get rid of it. But she's clearly cutting extensions. Like, clearly it's not her hair that she's cutting. I don't know if she's cutting a wig, but she's definitely cutting extensions. Like, you can tell in the video that the hair, and not that it matters, it's for the spectacle. Like, it is. But she gave herself the Max cut again. Max cut's back.
On stage, she cut the hair off and then threw it into the crowd, which I find a little disgusting, but I'm sure there was a happy little Maxinista in the front who has it framed in their home now.
Yeah, like she threw the hair out and some Maxinista.
It really grosses me out. She threw the hair.
But also, what's funny is like it wasn't her crowd. Like it was someone else's crowd. So
it was a Locke's crowd.
I don't think a Maxinista was even in the crowd.
Well, they certainly fucking became one if they got her hair. That's iconic hair.
She made me laugh because right after the Blue Origin flight, she tweeted, "Feels good to be back, scissors," and I was like, "Oh, she didn't go to space. Like, this wasn't because she went to space. It's different. This is different. She's on a different track." You know? I love that.
She's not going to space.
I love that.
The TMZ losers got her at LAX when she was coming back.
Not the losers.
And wait, you have to hold on. Let me shut
Will you
my
play? Of course, she's gonna be like, "I burnt it with cookies again." Whatever.
Well,
her first lie was such a lie. It was so funny. She burnt her hair making cookies. Remember, she had to cut it.
Yes.
That's why.
And then she was like, "Yeah, that's how it happened." And I was like, "Oh, this is fun." And then I looked, and then I passed a mirror. And I noticed that I didn't cut my hair all the way. And I was like, "That is cool. That's Sweet But Psycho."
Well, what's funny is that she should have like every time made up a new story. Like it should have been like,
"Oh,
I got it cut
gag.
in a lawnmower when I was young, and it never grew back." Like it just would have been so funny if she had just been such a little freak about it and just been like, "I'm just lying all around town." It's just a fake. Because it is fake. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, play.
So here she is at baggage claim 3 in LAX and TMZ.
There's nothing more demoralizing than having to get your baggage at 3.
Well, here's the thing. She's famous and rich, so she has a assistant pushing her smart cart with all of her bags. So she doesn't actually hold her bags. And
sure.
TMZ is approaching her, a TMZ cameraman. And they're like, "Hey, Ava, what's up?" I hate the like faux casual.
They're like,
vibe
"Hey,
that all
how's
of them
your
have to do.
haircut,
Oh,
Ava?
good to see you. Oh, notice you cut your hair. And she says this. Well,
what's going on, Ava?
Hi.
You cut your hair on stage. You know, what was kind of the reasoning behind that?
You'll see. You have to wait to find out.
Oh, okay. So there'll be something coming soon that'll explain everything?
Yes.
Okay.
The guy goes, so there's going to be something later that explains everything? And she goes, yeah.
Awful response. But just such a lost opportunity. Tell them something. Give them narrative. Give them story.
I do think this is so smart of her to do. I think people legitimately missed the Max cut.
Well, they're just like confused that it left another like, oh, that makes sense that it's back. But I guess my point is like, then don't being cryptic about it is like you lean into the lore of this like stupid haircut. That's like I want her to go all out with it. Never forget when I dressed as Ava Max for Halloween like 4 years ago or something. I was ahead of the trend and I cut the wig and then I was on drugs and the wig had to come off. It was too sweaty and the wig ended up on the floor and the wig was on the floor all night and the wig kept going to other places. Like Louis was like, I see the wig. The Max cut is over there.
That's a good costume though.
I should bring it back.
Yeah. Do you still have it somewhere in your apartment?
No. The wig?
Asymmetrical wig?
Bobby, no. The wig was lost.
In my last move, I threw away my Allie Main wig. Remember my Allie Main wig?
Oh my God, I still have that. I still have that wig, weirdly. That
when
red
I dressed
wig.
up as Allie Main.
I also dressed up as Allie Main.
That was fun. Josh was like, do you still want this? And I was like, I don't think so. Threw it in the trash.
Wow, R.I.P. to your drag career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe I'll bring back the Ava Max Halloween costume with the cut, and maybe this year I'll keep it on the entire night. That was the issue, is that once that wig was gone, and actually this speaks to Ava Max's like lack of fame. Where it's like once that wig was gone, no one knew. I was no one. I was dressed as no one.
You were Lindsay Weber.
Everyone was like, "What are you?" And I was like, "My wig is somewhere." And then the drugs really kicked in and I was off to space and I don't know who I was the rest of the night.
But not in the Katy Perry sense. Although I think you were probably closer to space than Katy Perry was.
I definitely lost time.
Did you see that the FAA was like, they're not astronauts?
Hell yeah.
The technicality that the FAA brought up was that because the Blue Origin capsule that Katy Perry went up to space in alongside Gayle King was controlled by people on the ground.
Yes.
So they weren't actually controlling anything in their capsule. They were just singing What a Wonderful World and revealing the Katy Perry lifetime set list. And Gayle was going, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
I did forget to put the clip in. I regret it, even though I thought it was a great segment of Katy Perry being like, I studied the Pythagorean theorem. I went to bed. I knew the math. I did the STEM. I read the books. Like, did you wait? Can you find that clip?
You sent me that. Yeah, I think it's in my.
But it's like it's extended. Hold on, Katy Perry math. Hold on.
I was winding down from a rehearsal the other day, and I was listening to Cosmos by Carl Sagan and reading a book on string theory, and yeah, I was like going to bed. That was definitely like helping. I was like, Pythagoras.
I just wanted you to hear the part where she was kind of fake dozing off as she said Pythagoras. I just like, and she said she was listening to Cosmos on podcast and reading a book about string theory.
She's so dumb.
Nobody does it better. Well, she's learning and she's getting smart.
Hey, BLT. Long time. The girls are fighting, and by the girls, I obviously mean Chrishell and Bree from Selling Sunset. Chrishell stays doing stuff like this, and I do have like a sickness where I'm always team Chrishell, even if maybe she's like being really, really messy. No matter what, I'm like, yes, girl, slay. You're totally in the right, completely justified. And I remember she did something like this recently with Nicole from the show too, where she was just like posting Instagram stories like late at night, just being like, fuck this bitch. Like, I don't even care. I'll violate my NDA. Like, I remember she was something where she was like, I will never be on a show with her again. I would rather be sued. And, the thing with Brie is kind of similar where she's always being really meta like this, which I always really love about Chrishell, where she's like, talking about Brie now, and this started from Brie like posting. Well, I guess my question for you first is like, do we believe Brie at all? Because what Brie's saying she did here is that she accidentally tagged the wrong brand when she was posting about a bracelet that she got in the mail, and she accidentally tagged a brand that is like very clearly Trumpy. It's called like MAGA bracelets, and her explanation is like, oh my god, whoops, like I had no idea. I'm definitely not MAGA. But Chrishell's taking this as an opportunity to be like, hey, fuck you, this is obviously a lie. And also, you called G-Flip, my partner, like a bunch of slurs on the show that are going to be like edited out. They're not going to make the edit, but just so y'all know. And then also like blasting her for a lawsuit that some employees had against her like a year ago. Yeah, I'm curious your thoughts on this. I mean, do we believe Bree for a second? And also, like, how long can Chrishell keep doing this before Netflix is like, girl, like she's gonna get sued? And like, does she need to be worried about that? I guess also, because I'm at this point, I'm not sure if like, I think Chrishell still needs the show, but it's probably not even like the majority of her like income or career at this point. But yeah, curious what you think. Crunch, crunch. Women do belong in balloons. Live and let eat a laptop.
This is actually kind of so crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Chrishell alludes to stuff that's in the upcoming filmed season of Selling Sunset that we don't know yet, because she says, like, I'm not sure what you're going to hear that Bree said about G, but Bree did say some transphobic stuff about G, Chrishell's partner / spouse, if you believe the wedding, on the filming of this season. So I already hate her ass.
So Chrishell is already backloading this season with like lore about like what may not end up on the show. So Chrishell's like, instead of being like when the show's on, being like actually behind the scenes in real life, Bree Teasy said this. Chrishell's like, this is happening currently, and like, I don't know if it's going to end up on the show, so I just like want to put it out there that like this is what's happened. Like, this is interesting. Like, she's creating her own show behind the show. Like, I wonder how Bravo.
You're right.
Bravo, Netflix, who makes this fucking show. I wonder how actually the production company does feel about this, because she is like preempting their narrative with her own kind of like narrative.
Yes. What the caller is calling about is stuff that clearly isn't being filmed. It's just like an Instagram story bit of drama. But in commenting on what Bree posted on Instagram, which I'll explain in a second, I don't mean to tease it, Chrishell revealed stuff from their recent filming that explains why she's so sensitive to what Bree posted on Instagram that she's mad about. So I first saw this, shout out to our friend Kate. If you want to hear Kate review Meghan Markle's jam, she did it on a recent Patreon episode. Hi, Kate.
Oh my God, Kate is like the star of the week. Yeah, we did buy and try Meghan Markle's fruit spread on the Patreon. So if you missed that, if you don't subscribe, there's still time to subscribe and go take a listen, because I feel like we gave it actually a very honest and
good
smart
review.
And thoughtful. We had it with peanut butter. We had it with salted butter. We had it on different breads. Go listen. Go listen.
Go listen. So Kate is just like very culturally aware.
Wait, you can't drag Kate in the segment.
I'm not dragging her at all. Are you kidding? This isn't a drag of Kate at all. I wouldn't have seen all of these screenshots so cleanly without Kate, because she put it in one of my group chats.
Kate's on the ball, and Kate is like screenshotting just in case, in a way that is kind of like, I don't know who else would need this, but Kate does know people who would need this, and it's us. And like, that is something that's so great.
It's like when you throw something into a group chat that has a lot of people in it, just knowing that one person might enjoy it. I saw it and I was like, thank you for sharing these, Kate. So Bree, she said something. Let me quote her, because I feel like, again, I got to give Kate cred. She said, "This is such a funny mess." And then for hours, no one said anything. And then I was like, oh my God, LMAO.
No one cares.
And I said, oh my God, LMAO, because I went to their Instagrams, Bree's and Chrishell's, and found like follow-ups that were killing me as well. So how this started, Bree Teasy, who used to date Johnny Manziel, is now one of the mothers of Nick Cannon's children, cheated in a marathon once, cast member on Selling Sunset, actually thinks she's great television, clearly has terrible politics, clearly has terrible opinions, but she's great television, okay? And her feud with Chrishell is long-standing. And Chrishell, for someone who is, quite frankly, really annoying, Chrishell is also good television, because Chrishell's politics are, I would say, by and large, like pretty progressive and good. Like, she's queer, she's politically aware, she's anti-Trump, like she's all of these things that I think a lot of our listeners and a lot of people like would agree with, but that doesn't change the fact that she's a reality television star, which means she loves to step in it and cause a lot of fucking mess. So what happened was, Bree Teasy, she is still on the show. She's a real estate agent because she's in Selling Sunset. Speaking of extensions, has some of the crazy extensions you'll ever see in your life. Bree Teasy does a bit of, I don't know if I would necessarily call it spawn, but she promotes a jewelry brand on her Instagram. And she does so by taking a photo of her arm with the jewelry on it. And it says, "Thank you at MAGA bracelets. Need extra protection these days." In the background, she sees the sort of like letter that came with the bracelets. It's like, "Thank you so much, Brie. Like, we love you so much," or whatever. But it has their logo on top. And the logo is just MAGA bracelets. It's not the font. It's not red. It says MAGA. Yes, like Make America Great. But it's clearly a pre-existing brand mark. But it's still there. It's there, and it says MAGA really, really loudly, proudly.
She's like, but it is funny because you're kind of like duh about it all. But I do like that Chrishell is kind of like Detective Chrishell. Like she is exposing.
She's Detective Chrishell.
She is like not too busy to do this down and dirty work. Like she's exposing, right? And I mean, people do know, but it is kind of like over the top for her to be like taking a screenshot, circle.
She circles Bree. I mean, she's good at helping you follow your eye. She circles Bree's name. She circles the MAGA bracelets logo. She circles Bree's commentary that says, "Thank you, MAGA bracelets. Need extra protection these days." And then she adds, and there's also a comment on the bottom that says, "Bree is a Trumper." She adds caption from herself, Chrishell, that says, "Some people are great for TV," great in all caps, and she's right. "But when it comes to talking about our real issues," parentheses, using slurs, etc., "they tend to be cut."
This is fascinating because she's not really coming for Brie. She's coming for the producers. Like, Brie is a villain, and we all know that. And she's like, yes, she's good TV, and I don't want to lose my villain. I know that. I thrive with my villain. Because if there's not a villain there, I'm the villain, and I don't want to be the villain.
Chrishell's not interesting, and I mean this with love. Chrishell is not interesting on the show unless she has someone to be mad at.
That's what I'm saying.
She thrives in this place.
Yes, and she wants to be, I think, the straight woman in the... I've really said this phrasing a lot. She wants to, not the straight woman. She's not a straight woman. She wants to be the straight man, the kind of, no, but like in the joke where everyone's kooky around you and you're kind of the audience step in and stand in and you're kind of like, what's going on? Everyone's so crazy and I'm the normal straight guy. Like in this joke, like that's what I think she wants to be in this show. Like, and if everyone is crazy around her, she doesn't have to embody those things to keep the show on air, essentially. So I think like she's trying to take her down, but in a way where she's still like, this woman is still good TV and I know it.
Yes. And also she's, like you said.
Not me calling Rochelle straight so many times. I know she's not, but you get my point.
I get your point.
It's a joke setup, yeah.
And she's being critical of the production too, because she's saying here, they tend to be cut. The real issues tend to be cut. So use this as a guideline when you watch season 9. What she's saying here is, you might think that she's good television because she is, but some of the really nasty stuff that she says to me while the cameras are on ends up getting taken from the final cut. Then she gives us context, which is great. This is journalism. Next frame is her saying, showing a screenshot. It's showing a screenshot from it's a screenshot from a People story in 2024, April 2024, almost exactly 1 full year ago, where Brie was revealed to have been sued by people who used to work for her for harassment and emotional distress. And she circles the important line, which is the Selling Sunset star's former employees claimed they were discriminated against on the basis of their sex, gender, and or sexual orientation per a filing obtained by People. And then she wrote in a comment, finding out how she referred to my partner will not make the show. But no, this is not just a political thing to those saying that. But her posting that triggered me, since we had to tiptoe around the real issues while filming because of this lawsuit. So, meaning the season that is not out yet that they had to film post-lawsuit. If you move like this when cameras aren't around, move like this in front of the cameras. So she's saying, you got to be real, otherwise, like, what's the point? Which is a sort of a refrain that you get from a lot of reality stars, where it's like, you got to be real, you got to be real. That's why Robin's no longer on the show, on Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay. Then, after this blows up, air quotes blows up, Brie goes on Instagram and apologizes-ish. She writes a long screed that says, I do not politically speak on opinions ever, and I am far from MAGA. I cannot apologize enough for the oversight here. I have a full social media team that supports me day to day, and the bracelet was gifted, my least favorite word, by Laura Averse, at Laura Averse, and was not the brand that was tagged.
Wait, I'm sorry, what? It says MAGA bracelet on the bottom.
on the bottom. We all make mistakes, and when tagging the brand, this was not properly researched into making sure the correct brand was being tagged. Nobody should be taking my story and assuming I mean something else without context for their own benefit. Growing up, I always wore the eye of Horus, and it's meant to represent protection and healing, so I apologize that the story has been shared without the full story for myself, and this will never happen again. Hopefully this has cleared up any misunderstanding. I appreciate you all. Heart.
I mean, if you go to Instagram.com/MAGA bracelets, which is literally on the box that she received, it's in the screenshot. You can see
it says MAGA.
It says MAGA. It is the most clearly that thing. There is no mistaking what is going on with this brand. I just want to be clear. Like, it's very clear. This is not confusing.
She shares more the full photo of the MAGA bracelets. That's like, for reference, this is how it was mailed. The team used the @ that was displayed on the mailer. I should have properly researched and used the brand Versailles, Verse. And then she's like, oh, this is annoying. I'm getting hate. It's the Eye of Horus. It's not about Donald Trump. It's not about Make America Great Again. So she posts this trio of screenshots that sort of try to explain her case, where she's like, this isn't political. This is jewelry. Clearly, people were sending Chrishell those explanations, and Chrishell goes back to Instagram stories and goes, I saw her excuse, eye roll emoji. Okay, she quote tagged the wrong brand, even though it's all the same company, and MAGA was highly featured right next to her wrist. Not my job. And then it's a screenshot of a Google thing where it's clearly, what does the word transvestite mean? Clearly Google screenshot, and it says, transvestite is an outdated and often considered offensive term for someone who dresses in clothing traditionally associated with the opposite gender, also known as a crossdresser. She's saying, let's get back to the real issue here, and says, not my job to teach her, meaning Brie. This term is extremely outdated, but here's a free education.
This screenshot implies that
Brie said that word.
That Brie called G a quote transvestite, which is why Chrishell is like, here's what this means, and this is offensive, and here's why we're not calling my partner this or whatever.
Yes.
But again, she is pivoting back from the MAGA bracelet of it all, because she's like, the point isn't the MAGA bracelet. Like,
exactly.
Who fucking cares? The point is that this is something that Brie Teasy said that will not be on the show, but I'm going to be referring to here now and probably in the future.
She's assuming that it's not going to be on the show, but I'm not sure that she's certain yet, because the final cuts aren't out yet. But she says, if my partner was trans, they are not. I would happily love them exactly the same. Get the fuck out of here. Someone take my phone. So she's like, even after getting the explanation from Brie, she's like, bitch, that's not the point. You used this offensive term as a slur to my partner. I will not get over it, which is entirely fair.
Right.
Because who's suffering more than almost anyone in this country right now? Like, who is worried for their livelihoods and their lives under Donald Trump, aka the MAGA bracelets right now? Trans people and gender nonconforming people. Like, few people have it harder than they do right now, and so I can understand why Chrishell is triggered by shit that Brie posts that says MAGA on it. And Brie's like, oh no, my bracelets. So this is what's happening between them. And then I was like, but I feel like they comment and like each other's Instagrams. I feel like I see this on the Who Weekly feed a lot. And I was right, because just a week ago, Chrishell posted a very long and well-produced Instagram video promoting a non-dairy creamer in her kitchen. And then Brie commented, love, heart, heart, heart. And then Chrishell commented back, prayer hands, queen, kissy face. After this, Chelsea, one of the other MVPs of Selling Sunset, goes on Twitter and goes, watching Chrishell and Brie on Instagram, T emoji, knowing Brie will deflect and avoid the one question people really want to know. Ho, is you homophobic? Did you really do what all them people said you did? Hashtag Selling Sunset. Chelsea is on Team Chrishell if you watch the show. So Chelsea is one of Chrishell's buds. So she'll always have Chrishell's back.
I don't like that we're talking about this show so much. I hate when we talk about reality shows. I know, but I'm just like, we don't treat, just because you watch it though, and it's biased because of that. Like, the shows we choose to feature the people on are the ones that we know and care about. Like, sometimes I'm a little bit like, is this worthy of the Who Weekly treatment because it's so show based?
Well, you always say this is the rule that you have sort of decided on.
Right, unless they kill someone, and then I'm like, I don't want to cover that either. Sorry,
no, it's
go
like,
ahead. Yes.
It's like, this isn't, we're not going to be like recapping like Real Housewives of Potomac and The Valley, two shows that we both watch, which I need to catch up on the new season of The Valley. But when the drama makes it outside of the show and gets headlines for things that aren't happening on the show, I think it's fair game. Like, this is Instagram based. Right? This is all stuff that's happening publicly, not on the cameras. And I think that makes it interesting, because then it's trickling down into like a normie non-Netflix watcher's feed. And they're like, what is this? What's happening here?
I know. Okay. So you're giving context. I just like, sometimes I don't love using, and I don't think you did that here, which I like, using show plot as any sort of like real information. Like, on the show, they were friends. On this season, and I'm like, this is production. But you're right. This is behind production's back. If production would be mad at what's going on that we're covering, then we should cover it, because like,
right.
I don't want production's manipulation, because I just know like, this just bothers me. This is like Kardashian. This is just Kardashian for me, like Kardashian drama for me, where I just feel everything is an engineered plot, and I don't want to cover stuff that feels like a plot line from a TV show, because everything sometimes
Yeah.
is. It's
And
stressful
I don't think
for
this will
me.
make it on the television show.
Right. We're being told it won't.
Yeah, we are. You're exactly. And I assume the season's already been shot, so they're not going to just suddenly add this fucking addendum or like a weird coda to the final episode of the season, which needs to come out now, by the way. Okay, moving on.
I want to be famous.
If you're looking for clean, non-toxic switches as we head into another summer, your skincare routine is a great place to start. Dime, founded by a master esthetician, is more than just a skincare company. With 4 skin-conscious categories, skincare, beauty, body care, and fragrance, Dime offers simple, spa-worthy products made with clean, non-toxic ingredients so you can feel good about what you're putting on your skin.
We got the Wonder Screen SPF. You know, I'm all about SPF. Every time I go to the dermatologist, they're like, I can tell you SPF. And I'm like, I'm glad you can tell. The Glaze Body Hydration, 7 Summers perfume, and Dime's new cleansing oil.
I cannot get it. I'm always like, anything with SPF in the summer, I'm down to try. And this really
It's mineral
works.
based.
Yeah, it's true. And you're wanting an SPF that is something that is natural because you're wearing it all day. You're reapplying, you're covering yourself in it, you're caking it on. You want to do layers and layers and layers and layers. Like you need it to be healthy.
Yes, they have tinted versions too, and they also have a cleansing oil that's just good for your face.
Yeah, well, when you want to get off all that SPF at the end of the day, you got to cleanse.
And with thousands of glowing 5-star reviews and a loyal community, the results speak for themselves. You don't have to just trust us. So revive your skin and give yourself a clean routine refresh you deserve. Go to dimebeautyco.com today. That's dimebeautyco.com. dimebeautyco.com. Spring is in the air. Know what's not in the air? Litter box stink. That's because I use Pretty Litter. It obliterates odors so I can enjoy all the wonderful scents of spring that aren't, disgusting cat smells. Because Pretty Litter sucks up all that odor and makes it so guests who come to your house have no idea that you got a cat there until they see it. And then they're like, ugh, I had no idea because it smells like spring in here. Confirm or deny, does my apartment smell like spring or cats?
It smells like spring.
Thank
It smells like
you.
spring. I know you have a cat, but I would never know unless I saw him.
Pretty Litter's non-clumping formula traps odor and moisture. It's ultra-absorbent, it's lightweight, low dust, and 1 6-pound bag works for up to a month. Pretty Litter also gives me peace of mind because it changes color to indicate early signs of potential illnesses in my cat, like urinary tract infections, kidney issues, and more. This is especially helpful if you have an elder cat, a senior cat, that might be in an age where they're getting a little sick more often and you want to know what's wrong with them. And since Pretty Litter ships free to my door, I never run out. I don't have huge kid litter bags taking up space in my little apartment, and I don't have to go out into the cold and lug those huge tubs from the store back to my apartment. Pretty Litter helps keep my house smelling fresh and clean. Try it and you'll love it. Go to prettylitter.com/who to save 20% on your first order and get a free cat toy. That's prettylitter.com/who to save 20% on your first order and get a free cat toy. prettylitter.com/who. Terms and conditions apply. See site for details. Quince ads. I love Quince. I love that it's getting cool. I love that I can go back to my Quince shorts. I love that I can go back to my Quince short sleeve button downs,
Oh my God, we're in a new Quince season. We were wearing Quince sweaters. Now we're going to wear Quince shorts. This is incredible.
What I'm also going to wear are my Quince linen pants.
When you travel, you're going to pack it too. You're going to take those Quince clothes to go when you go on your little trip, and you're going to open your suitcase.
Spring
and
travel.
Like, oh, incredible. I got all my
I do have a little
Quince-
trip planned for the spring, so that is going to be fun.
My European linen styles from $30, my washable silk tops, and my comfy lounge sets.
All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us, meaning me, Lindsay, you, all of you.
Yay.
And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. We love that. For your next trip, treat yourself to the luxe upgrades you deserve from Quince. Go to quince.com/who for 365-day returns plus free shipping on your order. That's QUINCE.com/who to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/who.
I want to be famous.
Hi, Who Weekly, long time. Tyra Banks moved to Australia with her 9-year-old kid because her Smythe ice cream line has been really successful there. And so she wants to continue building the business. What? Did we know this? Yeah, okay. Crunch, crunch. Women do belong in balloons. It's giving Punnett Square. Love you, bye.
There is nothing I respect more than finding out what your passion, your product, whatever you're working on, is popular somewhere else and moving there. Don't you think? Like Tyra Banks, like we did this whole bit on her, and you did for the live show, and how kind of desperate she is to be making ice cream. And like, that's fine. Like, there is somewhere in the world where Tyra Banks can make ice cream and people will buy it. And that can be like the thing that she does, like one of the main things that she does.
She tried in LA, didn't work. She tried in DC, didn't work, or it didn't work that well. She tried doing it mail to order, too expensive.
She can't do, well, okay, too expensive. She could not get it together on all of these things. No offense, but she could not get it together.
She opens a scoop shop up in Australia, and according to this reporting, it does gangbusters.
It's like they'd never seen ice cream before.
Australia's like, holy shit, I've never had ice cream this good.
Listen, we have a lot of Australian listeners. Have you been to the Tyra Banks ice cream store? Can you go?
Beck Shaw, talking to you.
I want to know. I want to know if it's gangbusters. I really want to know like what the deal is. There's a lot of reasons why celebrities move to Australia though that aren't ice cream based or whatever. So like maybe Tyra. So maybe
there's a lot of reasons celebrities move to Australia that aren't ice cream based.
But you know what I mean? Like, I think it might be twofold. It might just not be the ice cream itself, but I kind of want to know how gangbusters this ice cream is.
This is all coming from a profile, 2 places. She was profiled for the Sydney Morning Herald for their Sunday Life section, which she equates to the New York Times Magazine. She posted the photo shoot from her Sunday Life magazine piece, and then she goes, they said strike a pose, and I said make it iconic. Better yet, Ty-conic. Loves a portmanteau, loves a new word. For Sunday Life magazine in Australia, think New York Times magazine, but down under. So she's like, in case you don't know what I'm talking about, it's just the New York Times bit in Australia.
I can't, like, she's already doing this thing. Yeah.
So it's a full profile, which she explains that she's moved to Australia. She's gotten into ice cream. It's doing well. She's going to expand the store, blah, blah, blah. Then there's a supplemental video that's only like a minute long, but it's like behind the scenes of the photo shoot. And she says the funniest thing. Listen to this. I'll share the tab.
I love me some Australia. And what has brought me here is happiness, peace, the most amazing harbor in Sydney, and some of the best dairy I have ever tasted in my life because I'm in the ice cream business.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
There's a whole these videos. She did an interview with this that I put in the live show of a reporter in Dubai because she opened up an outpost in Dubai, and they're like, why are you doing this? And she's like, well, I got really obsessed with dairy. I got really obsessed with everything about dairy. So she really is like a dairy scientist. And so she's saying here, I'm impressed by Australia's milk. And if you have good milk, you have good ice cream.
You know, and honestly, like, with how much we know about Tyra Banks's ice cream dreams and kind of the flippy floppiness she did on it, but ultimately she did like study ice cream. Ice cream. She would know good dairy when she sees it. And like most countries have better dairy than the US for many different reasons that have to do with lots of different things. Like this is the case. So she's kind of just gagged.
And she's there with her son, who's 9 years old, York. She spoke about this to the Sydney Morning Herald, but then she also spoke about it to the Today Show, as in Jenna Bush Hager. She was like, it's a big facility. I fell in love with it. There are 3 countries that eat the most ice cream. They're America, New Zealand, and Australia. So I'm like, oh, this makes business sense because, you know, she's gotten like 2 degrees at Harvard Business School. And there's going to be a 3,000-foot store in Sydney. She's never had a store that big, ever.
That's so wild.
I went to the one in DC. It's the size of a closet.
She went from having a cart. She had a cart and like a little like closet in DC. And now it's like, okay, well, I love it.
So that's what Tyra Banks is up to. And yes, Tyra Banks is them, but Smize and Dream, that's a big who. It's one of my favorite celebrity business ventures. So that's why we're talking about it. Sorry.
No, I know. I mean, I know yes. And you have a lot of background knowledge about kind of like how we've gotten to where we are now. And so I appreciate and I respect you wanting to kind of follow up on the journey.
Yeah, thank you. Oh God, we got one of our most iconic callers called in this week. Absolutely stressed.
This is Sean, the Luke Evans person. I've just seen the dolls, the AI dolls. You know, all I can do is sigh. Do you have any comments? Disappointing. Crunch, crunch. There is a tiny copy of his novel, which, by the way, has still not shipped. My order has still not shipped. Barnes & Noble has not notified me of when it will ship. I have absolutely no clue. But all of these fucking celebrities who posted their copies like 3 or 4 months ago, hype is fucking dead. I forgot I ordered it. I ordered it like 6 months ago. I'm really struggling as a fan. All right, crunch.
I love him.
Shout out to Sean, our Luke Evans warrior, who I believe is from San Diego. We met him in Los Angeles.
We did meet him, and he was like, I'm the Luke Evans warrior. And I was like, you are a star. So it's Q2, and the Luke Evans warrior is checking in because he's still worried.
Because he's so worried. Luke Evans posted this. I don't really know where this trend started. Forgive me. I was trying to find like patient zero of this particular trend, but it's AI art that looks like a action figure. So it's like it turns famous people and all of their like iconic accoutrement into what looks like action figure packaging.
Well, I hate this. It's
hideous.
Cheesy. It's not chic. It's gross. I hate this use. It's like disease to me.
So it would say like Lindsay Weber, and then it would have their job, right? Like an action figure. It would say podcaster. Luke Evans's doesn't say actor. It doesn't say singer. It doesn't say author. It doesn't say memoirist. It says co-founder, because he's saying his most iconic thing is creating this underwear brand, BDXY. And then he made one for his boyfriend too.
I don't want to give these any sort of credit. I think they
I hate
look
it's
bad.
AI
I
horrible.
think
Ugh.
they stink. I think that it's not even because it's just AI. Like, yes, it is, but also they're gross. Like, they're unattractive. I hate it.
They're gross.
But what's interesting is what Luke Evans gave himself as like his items, because like your items, what define you. So for some reason, he has one phone, and then like, what is this item?
A MacBook.
A MacBook, a phone.
Oh, it's a BDXY candle.
A candle, and a copy of his memoir, right? And a bag and a dog.
And his dog.
And his boyfriend also has 2 phones for some reason, 2 iPhones.
Business personal, 2 dumbbells, a BDXY towel, and the dog.
Like, even AI is worried about Luke Evans. Don't you think? And his boyfriend.
Swipe through to check out their mini memes,
Okay.
all suited up with the essentials. What do you think? Lindsay, you should write stinky. I find it stinky.
It's so stinky. I should comment like, this stinks. This reeks.
Also, this caller says that he ordered Luke Evans's memoir, Boy from the Valleys, Luke Evans, My Unexpected Journey, and hasn't received it yet. Where is it?
That's crazy. Like, your number one fan has ordered an item from you and you can't even get it to him. He's worried about you every day of his goddamn life. Like, treat him like the king he is.
I'm also worried about him because I went to Luke Evans's Instagram and he put 3 grid posts up about his birthday. And I was like, you need to relax, sir. You don't need 3 grid posts about your birthday.
Well, it's just funny how he's head to toe in his brand. Like, what is he do? Like, I need to see I need to see a show. I need to see a movie.
I need to see The Girl on the Train Part 2. Does he die in that? I don't remember.
Are you going to read The Boy from the Valleys?
I'd love to, but apparently it's hard to find. I mean, I do. It's interesting. He was a Jehovah's Witness, and his backstory is like fairly interesting.
No, he's interesting. He's just, but that's why we worry so much, you know? Us and Sean.
I worry about his boyfriend, his partner, Fran.
Why? Because he's so sexy. He's so sexy.
He's like too sexy. I'm like, what's he really doing for your brand, sir?
Luke Evans reveals seeing Henry Cavill topless almost made him quit. See, that's a headline. That's a headline. He literally saw his friend Henry Cavill's huge muscles and was like, oh God, those are huge. I remember one day Henry took his top off and I was like, oh Jesus, I gotta get out of here. I can't do this. But instead of quitting, he leaned in. I went to this extreme boot camp of training, eating, and sleeping. We were like monkeys in a zoo. There was speeding time, then we would train, then we would do stunts, then we would nap again. Oh my God, Henry Cavill sent him down the craziest gay spiral.
Henry Cavill made him crazy. Damn.
Henry Cavill's huge muscles made him crazy. That's hot. All right, that's hot.
That is hot. Okay. I'm not worried about him anymore.
Hey, Lindsay, Bobby, can you rank the lyrics in the song Blame It on the Boogie from Who Did Them? And by that, I mean blame it on the sunshine, blame it on the moonlight, blame it on the good times, or blame it on the boogie. Okay, that is all. P-E-O-P-L-E. Okay, crunch, crunch, bye.
This call, how high are you?
Okay. This is the highest person. When I'm listening to Blame It on the Boogie, I'm like, all the things you blame it on and blame it on the boogie, you sort of, they're delivered with such like precision and excitement. So it's like sunshine, the moonlight, the good times. Blame it on the boogie.
Okay, I am going to let you spin your wheels on this and refuse to answer it because it's so stupid.
I think the gut would say blame it on the boogie is the themiest. But like maybe it's the first of the list. Maybe it's the sunshine. But no, I think it's boogie. Boogie is themiest.
I'm literally letting you. I'm literally letting you do
You're
this.
letting me
I'm
cook.
literally letting you take this. I think Boogie is the name of the song.
Boogie's the name of the song, so it's blame it on the boogie. I think Moonlight's the whoiest. I think it's Boogie, Sunshine, Good Times, Moonlight. That's the ranking.
Sunshine, good times, moonlight.
And I'm blaming this call on you because you made it. It's your fault. You picked it.
Let's end the episode. Thank you for listening to another episode of Who's There. Call in at 619-WHO-THEM to leave questions, comments, and concerns for our Friday show. Support us on patreon.com/weekly for bonus episodes, the Discord server, commentary tracks, and more. You can also get the audio only on Apple Podcasts. Just click subscribe within the app. Thank you to Timmy, our research and editorial assistant, and thank you to Katie and Eric of The Who's for providing our radio theme song on Tuesdays. We'll see you on Tuesday. If you're not a subscriber, we'll see you on Sunday if you are. And stay tuned for the Call You're Doing Amazing, sweeties, after the credits. Bye.
Oh, bye.
Oh.
I wasn't expecting that last moment.
Hey. Hey.
There's a lot of reasons why celebrities move to Australia, though, that aren't ice cream based.
Hi, Who Weekly. I had to call in. I've been thinking about it all night because I got to see our diva, our queen, Rita Ora, last night. She opened for Kylie Minogue in Orlando. And, I mean, I just love her all the more. She truly gave us everything and nothing all at once. It felt like she was kind of making up the choreography right then, but at the same time, she was the most joyous, the most beautiful, and the pipes, insane. Like, I loved her before, and I felt in love with her when she finished. And truly seemed so happy, and I don't think she could fake it. Like, amazing. Crunch, crunch.
Hi, Lindsay Bobby. Long time coming to you from Rita Ora's concert in Atlanta, Georgia. All 10 of us are here. Oracles, rise up. I just have to let you know that she's only performing for 30 minutes.
Hi, Who Weekly. My name is Andrea. I'm just calling because I did have a Who Weekly husband. We were married, and while we were married, I listened to the whole entire back catalog of Who Weekly. I think it was like over 500 hours of episodes, and my husband did end up getting kind of invested in it. He listened to it with me every week, and then actually he ended up ghosting me and leaving me, and then we got divorced, whatever. At one point, you guys retweeted me on Twitter, and I didn't know who else to tell when I was so excited about you guys retweeting me. I sent it to him, and I was like, look at this. Who Weekly retweeted me. This is so exciting. And he replied back and just said, wanna fuck? So I think the ex-husbands maybe are not listening to Who Weekly, but maybe I just have a special case. I don't know. Anyways, I'm divorced and happy, and I love you guys. Thank you. Crunch, crunch.
Hey, Who Weekly, BLT, BTL, however that goes. I just had to pause the pod and let you know that I am a straight man married to a woman who got me into the pod, but now I think I exclusively listen to it. I don't even know if she still listens, but I listen every week, both episodes, and yeah, it's one of my favorite podcasts, and it helps me keep up with all the Who's that I need to know about. So with that, there are straight guys out here that do love the pod and support you guys. So crunch, crunch, Tim Tebow lesbian, women do belong in balloons. Anywho, I'm going to bed.
Hey, Lindsay Bobby. Just listening to episodes today, and you asked to hear from straight male friends, listeners that still listen to your podcast. My ex-fiance turned me on to you guys, and after we broke up, I continued listening, and I know she continues listening, and it's one of the few things we can still talk about today. So, thank you.
Daddy Gang, picture this. Alexander Daddario stunned as Milton Hershey's wife, Kitty, and the turn-of-the-century biopic about the chocolatier.